Our guest speaker tonight, it's his debut, and I was in Nashville, and I saw him do a training that was blew me away. And I said, "Sir, I got to have you on the call this coming Saturday to do a training." And I am just so excited by this young man. He's been watching me for years, watching Mr. Bree Clemens. And when I saw him, I said, "You're ready." He goes, "I am." I go, "Yeah, you're ready." It's time to bring out sometimes a baseball player comes out of the minors and goes into the majors. Yes, sir. And he is ready for the majors because he got it down pat. So right now, get ready, get your notepads out, your quadernos, your pen, the plumas, the lapis, and please take notes. Our first time, give a warm welcome for Nashville on the way to RD. Yeah, he's on his way to RD. The great Mr. Daffy Sturt. Just give him a hand, everybody, to come out and does a presentation for us.
Like Mr. Thomas said, guys, my name is Jackie Starks. I'm out of Nashville, Tennessee. And a few weeks ago in Nashville, we had Mr. Thomas come into town and he did a big event for us. And it was a real great event and a big turnout. It's kind of like our relaunch of Nashville. And what I wanted to do while he was there, I wanted him to speak and also have a training done because a lot of times we put new people in the business, but we're not too effective at showing them the basics of what they need to understand when they get in ACN. And what I like to do is our trainings that I feel like they're so simple for people when they're brand new in the business to follow, so that way they can have great success when they start out. So, guys, I'm going to get into this training here. I'm going to share my screen with you guys. All right, guys, this training I'm about to do, like I said, is very simple, but it's also effective. And wasn't created by me at all. It's actually a training that I used to do back from when I first joined ACN, but I've never stopped using it to help new IPOs get started and have success in the business. So, guys, what I like to start off with is the ACN compensation plan. There are too many times where people get started in a business and they don't really understand how the money is made in ACN. So I like to go over with them about how we actually generate income, because if they learn it, it'll motivate them to keep going out here and building the business for themselves. So the first thing I want to go over is just the personal residual income in ACN. As everyone knows, ACN pays us anywhere from 3% to 20%, depending on how many customers that we go out in ACN and get. So your first 1 to 39 points in ACN pays you 3% residual. 40 to 59 points pays you 5%. 60 to 99 points pays you 10%. 100 to 149 pays you 14%. 150 to 199, 17, and 200 plus points pays you 20%. Now, what I like to tell people in ACN that there's three main categories of points that you want to make sure you lock in on. The first one is the first 7 points, and the reason why 7 points is important in ACN is because before any you get any other points other than 7, you don't earn any money in ACN. So you need to get 7 points because that qualifies you to hit the first position and to start earning residual. The next milestone, guys, you want to hit is the 75-point mark. Once you have 75 points, you not only unlock the 10%, but you also unlock all 5 levels of your business to maximize your residual income. And then obviously, guys, you hit your 200 points and you've unlocked all 20% of the residual income that's on the table for you. And so ACN puts in an example right here that if a person rent out and got 30 services, that averages about $40. The example for their residual will be around $120 per month. Obviously, you can do more or less depending on the bills and the services that you put in. But if people understand numbers and all they have to go out here and do is hit a certain amount of services and points total, they can see the money visually, and then they can start calculating in their mind what they have to go out here and do to earn their own residual. The overriding residual income, guys, as we know, you make 4% on your first 5 levels in the business. 25 customer points pays you on your first 2 levels. 50 personal points pays you on levels 3. And then to unlock levels 4 and 5, you want to go out here and get your 75 points. So, guys, customer acquisition bonuses are paid out to us as we go out here and we acquire customers in our 30 days of business or in a monthly calendar month. And they're paid also on new customers acquired by our downline, and they're paid out weekly. So the first position that everyone wants to hit in ACN obviously is CQ, customer qualified. And the reason why you want to do that is because before you can make any money in ACN, you must hit this position. Very simple to do. You just need 7 personal customer points from at least 3 services. The next position, guys, you want to go ahead and hit is ETL. It's also very simple to do. And what's great about this position is you don't have to do it all on your own. All you need is 30 total customer points. That can be between you and your team or you just by yourself. But once you go out and you acquire 30 total customer points between you and your organization, you become an executive team leader. Regional coordinator, guys, is the next position that you want to try to achieve after that. To be a regional coordinator, you just need a minimum of 200 total customer points between you and your team, or you can do it on your own. What I love about these first 3 positions is that because you already want to go after the goal of acquiring 200 customer points because that unlocks all your residual income, is that these first 3 positions, you don't actually need a team to do. Now, obviously, we want to build a team on our way to regional coordinator, but I love the fact that we don't have to focus on that because we're already trying to maximize our residual income anyway. And then guys, RD, RVP, and SVP are the pinnacle positions of the company. Those are the ones that we're all striving to hit. But I love to focus on CQ, ETL, and RC because in my mind, I feel like if someone can't knock out the basic positions, there's no reason that we need to be talking about how to hit how to hit the last and top positions of the company. So I like to keep things super simple for everyone, and I focus on each step at a time: CQ, ETL, and RC. So guys, monthly customer bonuses, they're paid out as in a monthly customer in a monthly 30 days. As we go out and acquire customers, ACN says, guys, if you go out here and you acquire 5 services that total at least 10 points, they'll pay you $200. Once we've done that, if you go out and you add an additional 3 services that total at least 6 points, they will pay us $200 each time after that. There's no limit to how many times you can do it, and there's no cap on it also. So I tell people all the time, you can literally write your check weekly in ACN if you just structure your business to go out and acquire a certain amount of services and a certain amount of points each week. And guys, so customer acquisition bonuses, they're paid out when new IBOs become customer qualified in their first 30 days. And ACN pays us 2 different types of cabs. You have open line cabs and you have generational cabs. Open line cabs are paid out as bonuses when people in your organization hit their first position in the first 30 days and there's not anyone there in that position in that leg. A generational cab are bonuses that ACN pays out when someone in your team has reached the same position as you or higher in their first 30 days. So guys, here's what I like to focus on in this picture here. Anytime anyone in my organization becomes a CQ, I immediately want to get them to ETL because once they're in ETL, they get to start earning bonus money in a company. CQ is a great position to hit because once they hit it, they're not eligible for the monthly customer bonuses. But I want them to be able to experience having a team growing and getting paid when they're not there directly, having to worry about doing all the work themselves. And then obviously, guys, RC is a great position to hit because the money literally triples from $50 to $150. And the way it works is, guys, when you're a CQ, until you become an ETL, the only money that you're going to make are the monthly customer bonuses that you go out by acquiring 5 customers that total at least 10 points in the first 30 days. But once you're an ETL, anytime someone in your organization joins the business and we get them qualified in their first 30 days, ACN will pay you a bonus of $50. Now, here's why you want to be an RC, because if you're an ETL right now in the business and someone is under you in the business and they're an ETL, if they bring in someone into the business and they get them qualified, ACN is going to pay them a $50 check. You will still make residual off of it, but you're not going to get paid that bonus. This is why you want to become a regional coordinator, because when you're a regional coordinator, anyone who's in your organization that's an ETL, when they bring someone in and they get qualified in their first 30 days, your ETL is going to make $50, but ACN is also going to pay you $100. Everyone gets paid together. The new IBO got in. If we got them their 5 services, they just made $200. The ETL, because they just got their customers in, the ETL is going to make $50. And because you're the overriding RC, you're going to make $100. But guys, ACN also goes one step further. If you're a regional coordinator and you're out here working a business like you should, and you're showing the plan, and you decide to start someone in the business and you start a brand new leg, well, if you get your new IBO qualified in their first 30 days, ACN is going to pay you $150 because there's no ETL or CQ there already. And so what I love about the RC position is we get to make triple digit money at this point and still not be blocked. I think that's great because everyone gets paid together. No one's missing out. And as everyone's making money together, that just inspires everyone to go out and continue working the business. All right, guys. Now, customer acquisition. This is how all the money in ACN is generated for us. IBOs can jumpstart their business by becoming their own customer. I am very, very big about that. I just don't feel like if you get an ACN, there's no reason why you shouldn't become your own customer. One thing I never understood is this brand loyalty that people have to companies that don't do anything for them. And I'll give you a perfect example of that. People get an ACN all the time. And when I talk to them about being their own cell phone customer, a lot of them are like, well, I don't want to do that. And I'm like, why? And they're like, because I like Verizon. And I'm like, I understand, you like that carrier, you've been with them for a while. But at the same time, Verizon isn't paying you on that bill every single month. And I'm like, well, if you tell me you got in the business to get paid on bills and show other people how to do the same, why would you have more loyalty to a company that's not doing anything for you versus being able to get paid on your own services? I just don't understand that. We all know that this is a numbers game for us as well as for these companies. The minute you switch your service over, trust me, guys, they're going to go find another customer. They're not going to care as much about you leaving their service provider. So I tell everyone, if you can, you're not tied into a contract that's going to cost you a lot of money. If you can be your own customer, go ahead and do it for a few reasons. One, you want to be a product of the product. Two, you want to be able to get paid on the bills that you're paying already. It just doesn't make sense to not get paid on the services that you're already paying for. All right, guys. And other customer sources will come from people who don't want to be in the business. I get a lot of customers from people who say ACN isn't for them. Hey, that's great. More customers for me. And then referrals and everyone else, guys. So I tell everyone we start with the warm market first. People tend to want to, when they get an ACN, they want to go talk to strangers. And I'm like, I'm not saying you shouldn't talk to everyone, but why focus on people that you don't know? It's so easy to get qualified and get at least your first 20 to 30 points out of people that you already know. So, guys, people you do business with, I feel like they should be a customer. I had a conversation years ago with my barber. He's been cutting my hair for years. And I never forget when I got an ACN, we had a conversation. I just told him, I said, hey, man, I've been coming to you for a long time getting my hair cut. And I've always liked the way you cut my hair, which is why I only come to you, even though there are people out there who would do it cheaper. I like my haircut and I like the job you do. And I told him about how I was in ACN and how I got started with this business. And I said, man, I've been coming to you for years. Would you do me a favor and just support me in my business? He said, man, that's a sure thing. What can I do for you? And I went over with him the different services that we offer, and he became a customer of mine. And just like that, and all because I just thought to ask someone who I was already spending money with. Don't be afraid to use that with a lot of people that you know. If you're already doing business with them, there's no reason why they shouldn't do business with you. You're not asking them to do anything that they're not already doing anyway. And a lot of times you'll probably be able to save them money on their services. And then, guys, we can also use people who support charities. There are a lot of people who care more about other people than they do themselves. And that's where the charities come in. A lot of people love the fact that they're making a difference and helping out someone else. So don't be afraid to let people know, like, hey, you become a customer of mine. ACN supports feeding a child. And then, guys, make a list, get a memory jogger out. I have a lot of people who get started in a business. I'll make a list, and my list will just be who does this, who does this, and what that means is I'll ask someone who cuts your grass, who washes your car, who do you call when you need help for something, who is it that you know that's technical, who is it that you would call if you needed to fix something in your house. And people start thinking of people, and I'm like, put them down on your list, and we'll call them and try to get customers out of them. And guys, just remember, favor help look. And be natural when inviting, guys. I tell everyone all the time, you don't have to think you have to come up with this intricate script. There's nothing wrong with letting people know, like, hey, I got started with a business and I want your help. And all we're doing is asking for a favor, and it's from someone you already know. And so, guys, here's a simple script that you can use for people. I just started my own business offering services that we all use every day. If I could offer you a better value on any other services that you use, such as wireless, TV, healthcare, internet, gas, and electricity, or identity theft protection, would you become one of my customers? It would mean a lot to me. And like I said, guys, just be very, very natural. You know your people, they know you. You don't have to feel like you're getting over on them at all. Just be honest and upfront about what it is that you're doing. Here's some key phrases to remember. Huge favor to ask, and share your why with people. Let them know why you're doing ACN, why it means a lot to you. Need your help? Just got a position, looking for a promotion, help feed children in need, and if I can find you value. And remember, guys, people will fall in three categories of customers. 10% of the people will be red apples, 80% will be green, and the other 10% will be brown. Red apples, if they're red, you just sign them up in the business. If they're a green apple, we answer their questions and we ask for the favor. And guys, there will be people who don't want to do it no matter what you say. You thank them and you just move on. And guys, don't forget the promotions that ACN runs, where we can get free service actually in the business. Flash Wireless, for a long time, has been offering free service to IBOs who get in and they get 5 customers of the service. That's a very strong selling point in the business also, because who wouldn't want a free bill? I've had Flash since Flash has been available in ACN, and I have no issues with the service at all. People ask me all the time when I talk about Flash Wireless, is your service good? Does it cut out? I tell them, great service, doesn't cut out at all. I've had times where I travel through the mountains and, the service may cut out, but hey, who doesn't have that with any provider? I've never had any issue with Flash Wireless to where I felt like I shouldn't be offering the service. And then, guys, Zoom Energy here in Nashville, Tennessee, we don't have the option to get paid on, to actually switch our service over through Zoom Energy. But we do have a lot of people here in Nashville that are from states where Zoom Energy is offered. So for a lot of those people, we have them reach out to their family and friends that are back in those energy markets, and they've taken advantage of these bonuses. Guys, the ID Seal Get 5 Get Rewarded. This is one of my favorite promotions because I've done this ever since it was offered by ID Seal. I've always had a minimum of 5 ID Seal customers every single month. ID Seal takes the average of all the ID Seal customers that I have, and they send me a bonus check of that every single month. And each time I add a new ID Seal customer, that gets added into that pool. So, guys, this is what I tell people to do when they're getting customers. I learned this from Byron Nelson a few years ago when he did a leadership call. And what he said was, you didn't have to be a master of every single service that's offered through the ACN storefront. He said, just pick a few that you want to master yourself and you go out there and market those services. Guys, my top services that I wanted to learn about was Flash Mobile, Vivint, and ID Seal. To this day, ID Seal is my number one service that I go to first. Outside of any other services that I offer, that's the main service that I go after. One, it's a service that everyone can get no matter what your age is. You're eligible for it because you can be a victim of identity theft at any time. And two, it's very easy for me to talk about because I've learned the ins and out of it. There's not one question about ID Seal that anyone can ask me that I couldn't answer for them. And three, they tell me if I get 5, they'll pay me a bonus on it every single month. And like I told you earlier, I've been getting that bonus check from ID Seal every month since they come out with it. So guys, I don't know what services it is that attract you the most, but my advice to you, which is to pick 3, and out of the 3, pick that main one that you love the most, and that be your go-to service. All right, guys, so now we're gonna get into team building. So we short and we don't sell. Just remember, 10% of the people that you're going to talk to about ACN will be very interested. The other 80% are going to want to think about it. And the other 10% are not going to be interested. And that's okay. You just have to remember this is a numbers game. And this is how you got to play the numbers. I tell people all the time, if I talk to one person a day for 30 days straight, I've talked to 30 people. Well, the law of averages isn't going to work in my favor if I show the plan once a day for 30 days. But if I tried to show the plan 5 times a day for a week, that's about 25 people, almost at 30, not quite 30. My average is going to work a lot more in my favor. Why? Because I'm running through more people in a shorter amount of time. See, what you got to understand about these 3 apples here is that the numbers are the same no matter what you do. You just have to get better at running through more people faster. The faster you can talk to people, the faster you can grow in this business. And so, guys, this is what you want to do. These are the 4 things we do with building a team. We pique interest, We invite to a presentation, we present the business, and we acquire customers. If you're brand new in the business, there's only two things I ever have brand new people do. That's pique interest and invite to a presentation. I don't have them try to present. I don't have them try to acquire customers. I do everything with them. If you're an experienced IBO, and all that means is you've been in ACN longer than 90 days, you're going to want to be presenting the business and acquiring customers. There's no reason that if you've been in ACN past a good 2 months that you shouldn't be able to go out here and show the plan and acquire customers. But guys, these are the different types of presentations that we have in the business. We do one-on-ones, two-on-ones, Zooms, and PBR meetings. I am a big fan of the PBR. I always do in-home presentations, and that's just my personal preference. I understand that most people today, ever since COVID, are attracted to the idea of doing Zoom. You don't have to leave, you get to stay at home and be comfortable. And that's great, guys. There's nothing wrong with that. But me personally, there's just something about that in-person meeting for me. I thrive more in my ACN business when I'm able to get in front of someone and actually show the plan right next to them. I can gauge their attention. I can make sure that they're understanding what I'm talking about. For Zooms, in my personal opinion, unless you live somewhere that I can't drive to, or in like another state or a city that's longer than an hour away, I think at that point it's perfect to do a Zoom. But if we can be in each other's presence, I think that's the best option. Just because I can control the environment at that point. With Zoom, I feel like people can be there without being there. They're sitting there, you see their name on the screen, but are they really paying attention? Do you really have them there? Are they really listening to what you're talking about? I know that when I'm doing an in-person presentation, that's going on. So that's why I'm more attracted to that. But hey, there are a lot of people who've had major, major success by doing the Zoom. So you do what works for you. The only thing I want to stress to you guys is that you do a presentation. So it doesn't matter if you're going to do a Zoom or in person, just make sure you're actually showing the plan. Because if we're not showing the plan, there's nothing going on with our business. All right, guys. So what you want to do when you get your presentation, you pick a date that works for you and the presenter, and you start peeking and inviting. That's the only thing you're going to do. We have Mr. Thomas coming back to Nashville on September the 5th. Ever since that's been announced, guys, all I've been doing is peeking and inviting. I haven't even been talking about ACN. All I've done is talk about Mr. Thomas and just getting people out to that event. These are the basics, guys. You create a growing contact list. Don't prejudge. Learn your inviting scripts and practice. Practice with someone else, just to make sure that you're getting it down right. Be natural, like I said earlier. The facts tell, stories just sell. Be a great listener, speak less, ask questions, find out people's why, be focused, have excellent posture, vision, and conviction. This triangle right here, guys, is so important. And this is how I was able to fill that room when Mr. Thomas came a few weeks ago. Everyone that I invited out to that event had some amount of trust with me because of my relationship with them. But the fact of the matter is, as far as ACN was concerned, they didn't have respect for me for the business because they don't know me for doing ACN. They knew me for everything outside of that. But the way I talked about Mr. Thomas and the things that he's done in this business over the past 30 years, they automatically had respect for Mr. Thomas. They may not have had trust with him because they didn't know him, but they had enough respect built for him because of the way I edified him that they wanted to come out and meet him. And guys, and this is how we put it all together. You and your prospect have trust. Your prospect and your expert have respect because of the way you've edified them. And this is how we work together to get those seats filled in that room. So, guys, and examples on how you compete interest, just ask people, hey, are you open to looking at something outside of what you're currently doing? Do you look at other ways of making money? Are you open to diversifying your income? Can I get your opinion about something? Like I said earlier, the thing that I stress the most is being natural. If it's someone that I already know, I don't ask them, are you open to diversifying your income? I literally will tell them, like, hey, look, I know you're looking at other ways of making some money because you were just telling me the other day how you were behind on this, behind on that. I'm having a big event on September the 5th. The gentleman that I'm bringing in is literally documented at making over 7 figures a year in this business. He's going to be here for about an hour. You need to be at that meeting, and look, you need to bring anyone else that you know to that meeting to meet him also. Off that alone, I have people showing up. asking me no questions because they see how excited I am about the event and how serious I am about it. Like I said, you have to be natural. Don't try to convince anyone to be there. You let them know why they need to be there. And I'm telling you guys, the people will come. Here's an example of how you can invite someone out. I just saw something I'm very interested in. It may or may not be for you. However, I'm inviting a few of my closest friends to take a look at it. We're getting together on this date. Would you do me a favor and be on? Guys, if they can be on, give them the date and time, make sure they're there. They have questions, you tell them. Don't be afraid to say I'm new. I tell people all the time, there's nothing wrong with being new because we all have had a first day at something. And so you don't be ashamed to let people know, look, I just got started, so I literally don't know how to explain this to you. That's why I want you there, because the person that I'm going to have speaking can give you all the details and answer any question that you have. And that's all that people need to know. Remember, guys, as a new IBO, you should only be peeking and inviting. We don't have to get into a question and answer session or try to explain anything. Let the presentation and experienced IBO present for you. Be natural. You'll get great results. You look for those red apples because we sort and we don't sell. And remember, guys, to always confirm and guess before the presentation. You never want to leave it to chance. Even though people told you they'll be there, life happens. People will forget. Do not be afraid to remind me, people. And a personal thing that I like to do, I don't text. I call. I just feeling like when you call someone, it's more personal and it lets them know that you were really looking forward to them being there. You can send a text, but a text is way easier to ignore for most people. And we all fell victim to it. How many times has someone texted you and you just looked at it and you went about your day? But when someone calls you and you answer them, it's like you're being held accountable to do whatever it is when they call you. So that's why I tell everyone always call. You don't have to worry about sending a text if you call. You have more of a chance of them showing up if you give them a phone call. And guys, so when the meeting is going on, just remember these things here. We don't want any distractions. You want to dress presentable. You welcome everyone as they come in and introduce them to the presenter. You don't want anyone in the room feeling awkward. So go ahead, you start inviting them in, start introducing them to everyone that's around. Before the presentation, make sure you have everyone silence their cell phones and hold all their questions until the end. You introduce the speaker and be upbeat and positive the entire time. And don't interrupt the presenter once it started. Guys, people, when they're new, they don't know what's right and what's wrong. So you don't have to interrupt and say, hey, tell them about this, tell them about that. No, the presenter knows what they're doing. That's the reason why they're the presenter. Let them do their job. And guys, we just have fun and we keep it very professional and we'll sort everyone after the presentation. And so, guys, like we said, when it's over, if they're a yes, you sign them up as an IBO and you promote them to the next event. If they have questions, we get with the speaker or we get with the upline support, we get all their questions answered, and then we promote them to the next event. And if they're a no, you thank them for coming and you ask them to be a customer. If you do all three of those things, there should be no reason why when an event is over, you don't get any type of result. We're either going to get a business partner or we're going to get a customer. And a lot of times we get both. There will be times that you may not get anything, but that works in your favor if you over invite. Like I said earlier, the more people you have there, the more chances you are having a result. And guys, and this is how you answer questions. Hey, that's a great question. Let me take you over to Mr. Thomas, who is the speaker. I'm sure he'll be able to answer that. And guys, don't be afraid if you know the answer to the question to answer it also. You showing that you know what you're talking about in this business gives people more confidence in you to actually want to join you. And guys, the last thing I want to talk about here is this Elevate event that's coming up October 21st to the 22nd. If you didn't do anything that I talked about in this training, one of the things I do know and have been a witness to is that if you could just get people here to this event will do more for you than you've done previously in your business. And that's just because at the Elevate event, people get to really see what ACN is all about. They see more than you just talking about getting paid on bills. They see more than you talking about people being your customer. They actually get to witness and see people who have had their lives changed through this industry and through this business. And just being a witness to that alone does more for people that you get there than you could ever say to them. So I tell everyone, if you mess up anything that you've heard about training, if you could just get good, at getting people to the events, your business would change. And the last thing I want to say before I hand it over to Mr. Thomas is there was a quote that I saw earlier this week. I can't remember the name of the gentleman that said it, but when he said it, it's been stuck with me ever since. He said, people don't rise to their level of expectation. He said they fall to their level of training. And what he was trying to say was we all put these big expectations on ourselves to hit certain goals. And a lot of times we don't hit them. He said, but when you think about it, what you usually end up hitting is to what you're best prepared for, meaning what you've trained for. So one thing I always try to do in the ACN is be on top of everything I can for my business. I know how to get paid in ACN. I know how to show someone how to get paid in ACN. I know how to show them how to get a customer. I know how to acquire a customer. I know how to present the business. And I know how to show someone how to present the business. If all else fails, because I'm so confident in my level of training in ACN, I don't usually worry about whether or not I can get someone in. My only question that I put on myself is how many people can I go through so that I can hit this goal of putting in X amount of IBOs? Because if you're not trained at all, or if you're not prepared at all to answer anything in ACN, I've seen people who've been in 2+ years and you can ask them a question about the compensation plan and they can't answer it. And that's a big sign to me to why I know why they haven't done anything. It's because if you can't answer a simple question about the business, you're not going to have anyone confident enough to want to follow you in this. So make sure, guys, you're on top of it. Get trained, learn everything that you can about ACN. But the biggest thing is, as you're learning, don't be afraid to go out here and mess up and talk to other people about the business because ACN is too simple. And it's only getting better. Like literally, ACN is only getting better. Every year they do something different that I just thought, like, man, previous year I didn't think they can do anything else that would make this opportunity great. And they prove me wrong every single time. So with that, I want to hand it back over to Mr. Thomas. I am done for the evening.